This is how I live. This is what I love. This is all the things that my dreams have been made of.
Welcome to my life. This is what I love. This is what the soundtrack to my life is made of. Music, love, life.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode. Be Honest, Crystal Jordan, and myself, Kevin Davis. We are Music, Love, Life. And we come to you on the eve of a great feast.
It's the eve of the eve, right?
The eve of the eve, but when they watch it or hear it, it'll be the eve.
That's true. That's true. My bad. My bad.
He was thinking ahead. Show business. Good job, Kev.
I'm trying, I do my thing a little.
I'm struggling to keep up. It's okay.
I don't know that all families do that. Do y'all do that every single time?
We do every single time.
You guys too?
Tell each other what you're thankful for. Do you like hold hands and sway?
No, I
don't think my family ever did that.
We don't sway. We may pray together.
You like sing Christmas carols.
I did turn the Christmas carols on in my house a couple days ago. My cousin came over and we listened to Christmas carols. It felt good. I really would like to put up my Christmas decorations this weekend.
It's not time yet.
It is time, right?
No, it is. Right after Thanksgiving, you're supposed to do it. And you're supposed to take them down at New Year's, right?
You're not supposed to have your Christmas tree up during Thanksgiving.
No, I said after Thanksgiving. That's this weekend.
Okay,
Thanksgiving is Thursday, and then I want to do it this weekend.
What types of things are you thankful for, though?
Well, I'm thankful that my children are doing well. That's always my very first thing I'm thankful for, that they're healthy.
Who are we thanking?
I'm thanking God for his many blessings.
So Thanksgiving is a religious holiday also?
For me, it is. I like to show gratitude to, and not even just to, thankful to God, but I also am thankful for the friends. I'm thankful for you guys. Thanksgiving
is a white holiday, I'm pretty sure.
Here we go.
I think so as well. And it's funny that I'm the
black people aren't thankful.
No, we weren't. Thanksgiving wasn't good for us.
But we weren't even involved in it, though.
We kind of were.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah. Why does it always have to go?
Do you really believe that Thanksgiving is about the picture of the Indian sitting there and the white dude and they're shaking hands?
No, I don't think that doesn't have anything to do with my celebration. I just feel like it's a great time to be grateful for the blessings that you have. You're not thankful for
it. It is like
blessings?
the anniversary of, on this day, our people received smallpox.
Right.
You guys are so silly.
We are so grateful for this opportunity.
Okay, did you cook?
Did I cook or did we cook?
Did you?
I did not cook. I'm not a cook. I'm not very good at that.
So that means we didn't cook, they cooked.
Well, my wife cooked.
That's not you.
But she's an extension of me.
What was on your menu?
I just told you.
It sounded really good.
We had roast and turkey.
Okay, let me ask what I really want to say. Did y'all have chitlins?
No. Oh no!
Are you a chitlin eater?
I have never had chitlins ever. I've only been in one house that was preparing chitlins.
That was prepared. You mean you've only been in one house that was preparing?
I've only been in one house.
How black are you?
He's only half black.
I've only been in one house where chitlins were being prepared one time. There's only one occasion.
He's half black. That makes perfect sense, right?
But you act like that's bad.
No, I don't think so. Wait a minute. Family was my grandmother's father. So my great grandfather, they did eat chitterlings, whatever. Chitlins. But my mom never did and my grandmother didn't. But, I did. I do remember being around and they were being prepared. They stink, as they should, I guess.
My family ate chitlins.
Okay.
Yeah, I do go back and forth. Chitterlings.
Yeah, I freaked me out because the first time I saw the word, I was like, that doesn't say chitlins. That says chitterlings.
I wonder why people I wonder why people even call it chitlings, because it's pig ass. It's butthole is what it is. It's pig's butt.
It's intestines. That's not really a butthole.
No, it and the intestines lead to what?
But that's different. If I cut veins lead to the heart. But if people are eating veins, it's not the same thing as eating heart.
That's very poetic there. I appreciate
it. It's true though.
Yeah,
it's not the same thing.
We're not talking about veins. Nobody eats veins. You don't eat
vampires.
You don't eat pig veins.
Does.
You eat pig butt.
It's not pig butt.
You eat butthole. Everybody, look, because everybody does. Matter of fact, I saw this video on World Star, and it grossed me out. And I don't understand. We could talk about what you should be eating and what you shouldn't be eating, and the healthy stuff and all of that. I get it.
This is the chitterlings after they're prepared.
Yes. This is that video. So yeah,
they left the butthole. Oh, look at this.
It's gross, isn't it? Oh my God. That is disgusting to me. But you know what's crazy? I thought about it and I said, wait a second. That butthole has every right to be in the bag of chitlins. It was there first.
Wow, that was
and this is this is what families all over the country are cooking or cleaning, eating now.
Okay. Oh, that was a lot. So, first of all, they should be cleaned. That was especially disgusting, but I don't necessarily want to see any piece of meat that we eat, like a roast. What if the roast wasn't cleaned and prepared and it still had like tendons and shit? Anything is disgusting that comes from another animal. Like, it's all disgusting. That is extremely disgusting. But I just think that...
Did you just kind of go vegan on us right there for a second?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I mean, it's disgusting. I mean, like I told you before, I think the fact that... And I stopped eating eggs for like 8 years. Because one day I just woke up and realized that's a chicken fetus. Like, if you think about anything that you're eating that used to be alive, it's kind of disgusting. I don't think that the pig butt... That sounds cool to say, and it's probably fun for Kevin to say pig butt, as he said several times this morning.
Butthole.
Butthole, that's right, butthole.
Booty hole. I believe was the...
Even better. But I think really, like, an egg is a chicken fetus, but we eat eggs with no problem.
You know how I feel about chicken.
Speaking of chicken, sidebar to this chitlin situation, I did not know that you too eat the Popeyes fried turkey.
Yeah, absolutely.
For Thanksgiving.
Popeyes has... You know, they're not the only ones. Bojangles does one too.
They do, and I haven't tasted that one.
But it's not as good as Popeyes. Popeyes is magic.
It is delicious. I've had it. I've eaten
Turkey
it.
Girl magic or whatever. It's delicious.
I haven't had it yet.
It's so good. I mean, the spices, it's Cajun flavored.
Deep fried.
It's deep fried and it's frozen. And the beautiful thing about it is when you thaw it out, you put it in the oven, the taste is still,
a crispy
it's
texture
still there.
to it.
Yeah.
But it's soft. Oh my goodness.
It's delicious. I gotta say, Popeyes ought to send us some coupons or something, because we definitely...
I get a 20% discount because I was in the military, so I pay almost nothing to eat at Popeyes as it is right now, so they can send some more stuff if they want to, but I'm good.
You have all you need, right?
I'm good.
Man, you should have got my turkey this year. You would get a discount. Get my turkey.
20%. But Kevin, you sent another picture though. That's not the only one. That's not the only...
More butts?
Yes. That's not the only
nice
delicatessen-like picture he sent for us. Let's see what this looks like.
Well, because my brother sent me the World Star video, and then we started going back and forth about, jokes about butthole and that, and then a little Google search popped up edible butthole. So apparently, like, booty hole is a thing.
Is that
like,
chocolate covered?
That is chocolate, not chocolate covered. Like, I think they actually use someone's butthole as a mold for the chocolate.
Oh, so that's 100% chocolate right there.
Right.
But it's just if you like the look of a butthole.
But that is like people tossing salads, right?
No.
So if you
why not? Because I mean, if you're against salad tossing and you eat
personally,
chitlins,
I am.
Then that sounds like an oxymoron to me.
So you're tossing a pig salad?
Basically.
I think we're just taking this too far. We're taking this too far. I don't think that's the case. I mean, people that I don't eat chitlins and I never have, but I mean, it's a tradition. And if some people want to eat them, I don't have a problem with them eating them.
It's dying though, right? The older people are the only ones who prepare this stuff.
I don't think young people are doing that.
Yeah, it's definitely, because millennials are definitely too into being vegan and stuff like that. But you know what? They've sold us on this I feel like I've been sold on this imagery of it being like the slaves took the worst parts of the pig. No, we were forced to eat worst parts of the pig,
right?
And we turned it into something that was delicious. And this is how our people survived the hard times. And it's way too heroic to eat pig butt, man. Like, you eating pig butt? Quit fooling yourself into this heroic story. Like,
but that is a true story, though.
Yeah, but it's not like you're honoring your ancestors by eating pig's ass, man. Like we were. Let me say, I don't even want to say it.
So I wish you could go back in time and tell one of your ancestors, you know what? I know that the master doesn't want to give you any food, but you know what? You're
no.
killing
I mean,
that's not what he's saying.
I ain't mad that they did what they have to do, but times ain't as hard.
We don't have to pick cotton anymore, so let's not all just get a cotton job.
But I'm just saying, if someone wants to eat chitlins, that's their right. Who cares?
If you want to do that, I mean, be my guest, but
Kevin wants to make fun of you.
I'm having some conflicts.
You having what kind of conflicts are you having?
Meat conflicts.
What do you mean?
Really? Man, my friend sent me, and I should have sent you this. My friend sent me a picture. Now this was difficult. Like a couple days ago, Tricky, one of my industry friends, sent me a picture of pork, and it showed how a butcher, there was cancer in it. And instead of throwing away the entire piece, they just cut around the cancer and continued to work.
I've seen that.
And he was like, try to stop. Just to send it to like a bunch of us, like, try to stop eating meat as much as you can. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's not going to be a vegan, but maybe, eat less of this, because this is obviously, I don't think there's anything wrong with meat in its state that it should be, but I think we do so many things to it now that it is definitely killing us.
No, that's not why I'm conflicted. The cancer thing doesn't bother me. They cut around it.
God,
so ain't no cancer in the other part, right?
That's not how cancer works.
You don't want
How
pre-cancer
often does
meat?
Cancer come back when someone has it in one part of their body?
Sometimes it does, but
almost all the time.
I wonder what they were feeding. I wonder what they were feeding the pig that gave the pig cancer.
No, we don't know. We don't know what causes cancer. We haven't figured out.
Probably steroids. And
what is that called? Metastasize?
Yes.
So every cancer occurrence doesn't metastasize.
It doesn't, but a lot do.
No, not a lot.
Some
do.
Cancer is
okay.
It's more likely than not.
No, I don't think it's more likely than that.
Ain't nobody metastasizing from kale. I'm pretty sure of it.
Okay, so here's my thing though. It's not about the cancer. I think they cut that away. They're very good about it. They've been doing this for a long time. They know how to cut away that stuff. Like
oh my God,
they're
they
experts.
Don't care.
They're experts.
They're just
experts.
That's not why I'm conflicted.
No, they hustlers, man. They
come on, Ryan.
But the kale salesman's not selling you $45 a pound kale.
No, it's too fucking cheap.
Be honest. What is your conflict?
Man, and this is gonna sound like some pussy shit, but I feel sympathetic to the animals.
You're right. You do sound like a pussy.
I don't care. That's why I'm conflicted.
They're gonna be killed anyway.
When did you become an animal lover? Last week.
Well,
chicken wings were delicious.
He was mad at me this morning because I told you guys that Sunday morning we removed my horse's testicles.
That's why. And that just put the coffin, the nail in the coffin.
Because first of all, that's a very common practice.
That's not good enough.
Geldings, which are horses that have been neutered, and it makes them a lot easier to deal with.
Oh, so we're gonna make the black man calm. We have to make him calmer. We're gonna lobotomize
first of all,
him.
my horse is not a black man.
I'm just saying, but okay,
that's torture.
It's not torture.
The reason,
fine.
no. Listen, the reason why I'm so conflicted.
Balls.
The reason why I'm so conflicted is because there will be a day in the near future when we're going to start looking at animal rights as being the same as how black people were treated. And that's why I made that correlation.
I don't think so. But I do think that people
they're treated like shit.
I do think that men that are rapists or child molesters, I think that we should castrate them.
Where did you pull that shit from?
I'm not mad at that, but that ain't
the same thing.
Your horse did nothing to no one.
He didn't, and we stopped him before he did.
Your horse is not a pedophile.
You guys are not horse people. Horses are very difficult to control when they're studs.
I know you just cut his balls off and said it wasn't torture.
Right.
Like,
I didn't say it wasn't torture, but I said he's fine today. That was Sunday.
Fine.
This is Tuesday.
Define fine. The fuck do you call fine?
Titan is healing nicely. I gave him a shot of penicillin this morning. He's healing nicely.
You give him some sugar cubes and it's all good.
Give him some balls.
Some bullshit, man.
I got a question though, because I know this is going to be a problem for me. Like right now, I can't help it. Popeyes doesn't have,
vegan.
I don't know if they've checked the farms that they're getting their meat from and have determined whether or not the meat
I'm
is.
gonna just eat sides.
But look though, check this out. I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
This is a little philosophical. It's a little science fiction.
I like that.
It's not going to be an easy answer.
All right.
They have developed a way to make clean meat.
The fuck does that mean?
I'm confused.
It means that they've used stem cell research to create lab created meat. I don't know if we've talked about this off the air before, but I know I've talked about. I'm not sure if I talked on the other show or this show, but they've learned how to recreate the loin or
the loin.
Yeah. I've heard about that.
They've learned how to recreate that, so they can actually get a cell from a cow loin and then create another loin. No fur, no hair, none of that stuff. Just the meat.
Well, they don't. They actually use another animal to grow it off of. Right? Like they don't. It doesn't just grow by itself.
No. It grows by itself.
Not like a 3D printer.
Yes, it grows by itself. It's almost like brewed like beer. It does not require any live animal. There's no animals harmed.
Where are your
in
receipts on this?
MemphisMeats.com is a company that's doing this. Right now,
again?
Memphis Meats. Right now, it's about $3,000 for a pound of chicken and about $6,000 for a pound of beef. So it's way too expensive right now. I'm just saying that it's in the works. If I were to bring you guys chicken that was stem cell chicken, would you eat it?
I'm not eating it.
No, I don't trust that shit.
What do you mean?
Now
I
them
would
big
rather
ass.
just eat a
Now
salad.
churches legs. If you've been to churches before,
That's not the same.
That shit is grown.
That is not the
That
same.
shit is grown, nigga. A drumstick big as my fist.
But it's not. That's not. It's
That
not hormones.
shit, yes.
No,
Now
it's not. That's not hormones.
I've eaten that, but
What
that's
is it not? How is it not hormones?
It's not hormones. That's another misconception of the industry. People think that they're
misconception. When did you?
I've done. Listen, this is bothering me, man. I don't like the
Really?
fact that. Yes, I don't like the
so
fact.
why are the drumsticks bigger than the whole chicken?
I didn't realize B was so chicken passionate.
They are genetically modified, but not by hormones. They're genetically modified by breeding tactics. So just like where you get a real big person to mate with another real big person, and they make a big person. It's that
They
thing.
certainly
they're
do.
They're just super doing it to where the biggest are the biggest every single time. To where it gets to the point where they have kids who are so big they can't support themselves. So it's not hormones.
Okay, now let me
being
ask you
pumped in
this,
there.
because I was having a discussion with my son and his friends last night, and I want this puppy, this micro poodle puppy.
You are just an animal hater. I don't think you like animals. You say you do.
I love them. I'm an animal
You just
lover.
took your horse's balls. You're about to get a
Listen,
mutant
so
puppy.
She only
want
likes
a-
them in a certain.
I want a
capacity.
micro teacup poodle, and they were saying that a lot of times though,
That
and
shit
they
wouldn't
have
survive in the wild.
They also have doll face dogs that are they're bred, like you said, to be extremely small and to have characteristics or features that people think are really cute. And then the dogs cost
$8,000.
$5,000. So I'm going to show you guys seriously. So this little dog, but my son and his friend said a lot of times those dogs die early because they're bred in a way that's not healthy. So
Muscle
their brain may be
issues,
bigger.
bone
Yeah,
issues.
yeah.
That's
so
true.
that's what's happening with these chickens.
All dogs are too, though. All dogs are bred and they have issues because they're bred incorrectly. They're wolves that have been domesticated for us, and that's kind of cruel. But what I'm talking about is having.
So y'all know on the micro.
No, I'm knowing that, but I'm definitely eating stem cell chicken. You guys are retarded. Yes. It's more clean than anything that you've ever eaten before.
More clean.
It's not an animal.
Fuck that.
What is
It is an animal. It's
Nah, son.
it's grown from the cells of a real cow,
Not
and
doing
it
it.
becomes a cow part.
You're
Let me ask you a question. Let's say your ear gets burnt off in a fire.
Mm-hmm.
Your ear gets burned off in a fire, and they do stem cell work to recreate another ear. From your good ear, they give you another ear,
Right.
a stem cell ear. You're
Yeah.
not attaching that to your head.
That's not the same
That's
thing.
different.
That's not
How?
the same
That's
thing. That's
What you
cosmetic.
mean how? Because I'm not digesting it.
That's cosmetic.
But it's part of your ecosystem.
It's
No,
cosmetic.
It's tied into
I'm
you.
not going to get the proper nutrients I need.
Listeners, viewers, me and
And then
you.
furthermore, with this stem cell stuff, man, they I've heard about stories or I can't remember if I actually saw something on
You
the
didn't.
internet.
You're just making this up. Go ahead.
Yeah, maybe so. I want to say that there was in a lab, there was a rat.
Oh, get the fuck
And
out of here.
they grew the ear on the back of the rat.
I did see that.
Okay,
no,
no.
I did see that.
Yeah, that's
Right,
old
I
school.
saw
So I
that.
didn't just pull that out of
No,
thin
I
air.
saw
Okay.
that.
That's
Yeah.
old school though. Now they're actually like breweries where they can brew.
This is crazy.
That sounds too much like the Matrix, yo.
So
how did we get here?
I'm telling you that I will be a candidate if they want to send me some.
You say that shit chicken, now. Wait till they knock on your door.
I will eat that. I promise I would only eat that. I wouldn't eat any more. I would not eat any more farm animals.
Okay, but what if that mute, like, you're going to end up like Cyborg?
Why?
I don't know.
It's still meat.
You're going to end up like Cyborg on the Justice. No, it's not.
Yes, it looks, feels, tastes just like.
What kind of after effects does it have?
Why would it have after effects?
Because that shit is not tested and proven.
Why would it have? It has less of everything. Like there's no cancer. It doesn't grow the same way. It doesn't have the same. It's all controlled.
Real.
I'm willing to bet
it is real.
If you eat stem cell chicken, then you will grow additional limbs.
That is not true. That is so ridiculous.
I bet you'll grow.
There is no science that
something is going to happen.
I guarantee
you're going to start radiating. You're going to become a mutant.
Why?
Something I don't know.
That's
I'm just telling you, you're going to become.
This is why black people can't let go of religion. It's fine though. Y'all keep religion too.
You just said it. No. Okay, well, you eat your stem cell chicken. I'm not eating it.
All right.
I'm going to start, you know what, with things like that.
I think you're going to grow a mouth on your neck and chew like this.
You're pushing me further and further towards just eating raw. Like, at this point, I just want to eat raw vegetables and fruit.
Can you guys just look it up? Let's just look it up.
I don't want to look it up. I don't want to look it up. I don't want any part of it.
I'm not sure if the website is fully up right now because they're not selling to the public, but you can look on YouTube and find a video
I don't want any part
about the process. It's not that scary.
So
that is scary to me. I'm not eating anything that I don't know where it came from.
And you know what? As much as I want to, as I agree with you, Chris, because I'm not eating that shit, I know that there's a ton of people, like, because black people don't give a shit what it is. We will make it taste good.
Yeah.
And we get in love with the flavor.
You don't have to make it taste good.
Please,
it's just
man,
like before.
Man, bullshit. Like, ain't nobody eating no stem cell chicken, but if you put some Lowry's on that shit, it might go down.
It tastes the same.
So that means that they are going to eat it.
They are. You are too.
They're going to be able to afford
We're
it.
all going to be eating this in 100 years.
I'm
in
not
100 years,
no,
we're all going to be eating this.
So what are you, a futurist now?
No, I'm just telling you.
Future chef?
It just makes more sense.
I'm not eating it. I'm telling you, I'm going to be someplace in the back of my garden growing fresh vegetables and fruits.
Yeah, it'll be illegal.
No, it isn't.
Thinking will be illegal by then.
Oh my God.
We need an indoor garden.
Speaking of thinking being illegal, Kevin and I got into a social media war over the new Paper magazine cover with Nicki Minaj, right?
Yeah. Because Christal,
not even
you don't want to listen.
A war, but I don't understand. First of all, it's a dope cover. It's dope. It's very provocative, but that's what we expect from Nicki Minaj. She, that's what she sells. If you listen to her lyrics, she talks about, how fat her pussy is and how juicy it is. Like, that's what she does. She talks about menage a trois. She talks about kissing girls. That's who she is. So this cover is a great representation of the brand that is Nicki Minaj. I think the pictures are dope. You got to admit, even if I'm not into menage a trois, but the pictures are dope. I mean, it's just very.
I'm not into menage a trois.
I'm not into menage, but this is very dope. And because and the funny thing about it, like, she has on clothes in all these pictures, more clothes than she usually has on when she's performing, but it's definitely sexual.
That computer generated shit. I know she's not standing on the edge of the bed in those heels. Like, there's no way.
No, she couldn't be that. Yeah, those heels are those stilettos are too
Can you just
thin.
Suspend reality for a second, Kevin? Goodness gracious. And look at the Menage characteristics of this.
And the Menage and Nicki. What is exciting to men in this Menage picture? What is the most titillating
of this
particular picture? Yes.
Because we know that y'all masturbate in the shower.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And so because we know that.
We're aware of that.
Because we know that, this is exciting to us seeing that. So.
Okay. I never would have thought that. That's what okay.
We, believe it or not, it's not all about us. We like women to be satisfied.
That's okay.
It's a new idea. Did you see her eyebrow raise?
Up, right? She's like, what?
Well, I'll be damned.
I mean, there was a time when it wasn't about your pleasure, but I think men have evolved past that. And
especially when they're over 40.
Our pleasure is tied into your pleasure.
But in some, I don't think up until maybe not too long ago that they would perform certain types of surgery and remove organ parts from women so that they didn't enjoy sex.
That was in the African culture, but I'm sure there are other cultures.
That still happens there in some places.
Mm-hmm.
But and I think that's horrible. I mean, that is kind of like, I think.
But you thought cutting off the horse's balls was cool.
We're not talking about that any longer. But I do think that it is. it could be, because I had a girlfriend who was talking to a guy. He sent her a picture of his member, and it was uncircumcised.
And that's what.
Disgusting.
Why? How is that disgusting?
Well,
I know we're gonna get back to Nicki Minaj, but how is that disgusting?
But I mean, it just goes along with the clitoris being removed. I don't because our culture says that men should be circumcised. We think about that differently than we think about clitoris removal.
But it's the same.
It could be.
From what I understand, sex is less pleasurable for men after it's been removed. That's what I've heard. I mean, I don't understand how they would know that, though, because either you have it or you don't have it. So if you don't have it, how would you have known how it was before? Unless you got it done as an adult, which is horrific.
That's horrible.
Ooh, but from what I've heard, though, it's more pleasurable. There are more nerve endings. A lot of nerve endings in
that turtleneck.
That turtleneck, the sheath.
So
there's a turban.
But back to that's good to know.
Nicki.
Put a pin in that.
Right.
Back to Nicki. I thought it was, Paper Magazine is known for being very provocative.
What magazine is Paper? What do they do?
They're just provocative.
Is it like pop stuff?
Yeah, just pop culture.
They did the Kim Kardashian picture
where
them? She was squirting something over
the top of her
head.
very nice photo shoot.
Which was a take on another historical picture with an African American woman.
Oh, wow. So she stole it? Or did Paper Magazine steal it?
No, Paper Magazine probably came
Or
with
did the
direction.
producer of the photo shoot steal it?
Yeah, I don't assume that
Are we blaming Kim Kardashian?
I'm not.
Are we blaming Paper Mag?
I think she was blamed for her part.
I don't think she had. Yeah, she might have been blamed.
It was a thing for sure.
A lot of people loved it.
Why blame though? What's the problem with her doing it?
I don't have a problem with her doing it. I didn't like the picture. I think Nicki's pictures look great.
I was actually speaking to Kevin. He's the resident.
Well, my issue, my comment wasn't about the picture itself. My comment was that Nicki Minaj is probably going to have a Me Too moment pretty soon. And
for people who don't know what Me Too is, give them just a
okay.
A
so Me Too was the campaign in where people were coming forward on social media and saying that they had been sexually harassed or they had been sexually assaulted at one point in time or another. And the idea behind it was to help people understand how vast of a problem it is, right? Especially right now, you've got almost everybody, every executive in entertainment right now is being accused of sexual harassment at one time or another. So, all of that is going. So I was saying that Nicki Minaj is probably going to have a Me Too moment because her brother just got convicted of raping a child.
Right.
That is a huge and to me very dangerous assumption to just say, though. I mean, and that had nothing to, first of all, we cannot assume that, because her brother was indicted for this crime, which is horrible. And I think it was his stepchild that he did that to. That does not say that he did that to her. And we can't assume that. Like that's a very dangerous assumption.
I think he was talking more along the parents, though, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying that he did that to her. But like when we're young, someone learns about sex, right? We learn what it is, how it feels, so on, and how to do it, right? We don't always learn the right way.
I just think what does that have to do with this cover, though?
I'm saying that I feel like there was poor timing there. I feel like there was poor timing for her to release that cover of her being fondled by other personalities right at the same time as, this happened with her brother.
Why should his conviction have anything to do with her career? I just don't. I don't get that.
I feel like
unbelievable to me.
I feel like where there's smoke, there's fire. She doesn't have to admit anything to me or anyone else.
But there was no smoke, though. She's always provocative. The cover is consistent with who she is. I don't think we all have family members that do things that we are not in control of.
Did they grow up together?
I wouldn't say
Nicki and her brother.
So what? I grew up with my brother, and my brother has been in jail. I haven't. But for someone to assume that because of what my brother has done, and I still love my brother, even though he's made mistakes. So I'm sure she still loves her brother. But to make that assumption and to assume, I could have been going on a press tour with a client at the time my brother went to jail, and for someone to say, "Oh, it's very poor timing for Christal to have chosen to do this when her brother just did this." I won't say what my brother did, but it's definitely not something that I would have stood behind.
Well, I feel like the nature of the crime has a lot to do with it.
But the nature
if
of
he
her,
went to jail for tax evasion and she put that out, then I wouldn't care.
But
it wouldn't be a conversation.
She can put out whatever the hell she wants to put out. It's not her fault that her brother is a criminal or a pedophile.
No, it's not
That's
her fault.
not her fault. So I don't think that she should have to time her release around his and he didn't do the crime. This crime was done a long time ago. He just finally is serving his time for it. Mm-hmm. I just think that's very irresponsible to even say that has anything to do with her. That's unfortunate, because that's what's wrong with celebrities. A lot of times we judge them on things that have nothing to do with them. And I just feel like it'd be different if she had come out with this cover and it was weird because Nicki Minaj was not sexual. Nicki Minaj is constantly talking about sex. She's constantly talking about her sexuality. This is in right. line with her brand, and she does not. And I'm a publicist by nature. I'm media trained artist. For someone to say that she should not have put this cover out because of her brother's crime, to me is very wrong, and it's unfair, and it's irresponsible.
I feel like for the sexual, for that to be her brand, like I'm pretty sure her brand didn't just come out of thin air, right? She has some level of comfort. She has some level of exposure, right?
Little Kim probably. I mean, that was the
and I think Little Kim actually admitted that she had been assaulted before.
But what does
most women
perhaps
have been,
as a child?
A lot of women have been assaulted as a child. That doesn't have anything to do with the fact that they're talking about sex. People talk about sex because sex sells.
But what about her having a virtual Photoshop threesome with herself has anything to do with the kid though? I mean, I'm not in on a side.
That's real.
What does any of that have to do with that? That is all consensual.
With the child that was assaulted?
Well, yeah, that's all. First of all, it's consensual, even though it's not real because it's her. She's hurt in all those pictures. Mm-hmm. So it would, because all those three people are adults. I'm not sure how that correlates at all to forcing a kid to do something. So when I'm listening to both of you guys' points, I don't understand how you decided to pull that in as being something that is frowned upon because it's poor timing. No, they're not connected at all in my eyes.
I feel like, well, art comes from expression. Right. And I feel like that comes from, things that we're thinking or feeling or we're inspired by.
Right? Really? I think that was just something, hey, this is fly.
This is going to make, the whole title of it was Break the Internet. And Kim Kardashian, Paper Magazine is known for being provocative, but a part of being provocative means that you have to come harder and harder each time, because with Kim naked, then okay, the next cover, if it's going to get more hype, it has to be even more provocative than naked Kim Kardashian's big ass. So this was one of those things that, especially to me, the most, if we can pull that picture back up, the cover, the actual cover picture, the part of the shot that's so provocative is really, to me, the Nicki Minaj is on her knees with her tongue out right in front of the other Nicki Minaj's special honey pot. So, I mean, because we see lots of pictures with girls draped over each other, but that kind of, it is very, even with the clothes on, I think they were looking for a way to, as the title says, break the internet, which is outdo the other covers they had, and do it in a creative way. And even not from a sexual standpoint, just from a creative standpoint, this is a very creative way to express that, because like I said, she has clothes on. It's just suggestive as hell. So I think it was the photographer, whoever came up with the concept, the art direction for this shoot was very creative, and I think they did a great job. I just thought that connecting that to her brother was very unnecessary.
Well,
but people were sympathetic with you. Actually, people agreed with you.
Well, yeah, post. Because this magazine cover and the verdict for that trial happened like the same week.
Okay, but so
within days of each other.
But that
may have been unplanned.
It was unplanned.
Right.
I'm sure they didn't know that the verdict was going to be.
And matter of fact, I'm willing to say, I think that either some people at Paper Mag or Nicki Minaj management team, I'm sure that this was a conversation. Like, hey, this is going on.
I don't know.
What do we think about it?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Because remember, when I asked you they should make a statement, you guys both agreed that Nicki Minaj shouldn't say anything. Remember you guys both agreed that.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, she has to say something. You're like, no, she needs to just leave this alone. So,
Yeah, and that was before the cover came out.
but she did leave it alone. She's going on with her life.
Yeah.
And not just that, though. I am willing to bet that Paper Magazine spent an assload of money to put this together. Not just the photographer and the creative part of it, but just the fact they're licensing Nicki Minaj's likeness.
Yeah.
There's no way that magazine spread is not coming out. You know how much money they would lose?
Yeah.
That was,
a good point.
I don't know how much it was, but I know it was an incredible amount of money for Nicki Minaj to be not there just one time, but 3 times in each picture. They probably charged their asses for each instance of her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would not be surprised if it was in the hundreds of thousands.
No, I'm sure.
Well, just the hair and makeup alone. I mean, she
that
had
shoot was extremely
12
expensive.
different costumes there.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if it was in the hundreds of thousands. There's no way that magazine cover wasn't coming out.
I agree.
And if they had it planned for the November edition, it's got to be the fucking November edition. There's no way that's going to be January. We're going to wait till January.
And nor
with that.
should it be, because that's, I mean,
Those pictures
we
would
don't
have leaked.
control our family. Like, we don't control the actions of our family. But I'm just concerned with the thought process that says, I didn't even get to the part where the type of crime, the fact that it was a child, but you're absolutely right. But to assume that someone has gone through that, first of all, there's statistics that suggest 1 in 5 women have dealt with that at some time in their life. So we, whether or not she's dealt with it, or it's nothing to do with her artistry, and that's an irresponsible. So a woman
Should she be punished?
No,
because that happened.
No, I don't think she needs to be
punished. But a woman who is
punished.
a principal who has been molested as well, there's no way for you to know that about her. So I mean, you just can't make assumptions based on someone's expression of their own sexuality. There are a lot of people who enjoy threesomes that has nothing to do with the fact that they were molested as a child. That is a very popular thing. There are groups of people that are swingers. We talked about that earlier.
Did you say you hadn't been to trapeze or swingers club?
I have not been to trapeze, but
I forgot what your answer was.
But I mean, we know that that's a very popular thing, and to suggest that because someone, and we don't even know that Nicki Minaj is doing that. That could just be her brand, and that may not even be really who she is.
On a side note, there is a room in front. Like, you go into trapeze, there's a room where like people still have their clothes on. You could just decide there. You don't have to go in the back room where you put a towel on.
I know that I don't need to attend that establishment. But the point is, I think it's very dangerous to start assuming what people have gone through based on their job, based on their career.
But Crystal, what would her going through that, still, what would that have to do with it?
That's nothing.
Let's say all that happened to her as well. What does that mean, Kevin? What does that mean for the people who agreed with you? What does that mean, though? Okay, her brother molested a little kid. They both were molested as kids. What does that have to do with her putting a sexual
image out?
Promo.
Hold on, let me say this too, because I'm not shaming Nicki Minaj at all. Right? I'm saying that where there's smoke, there's fire.
What does that mean? You keep saying that.
Smoke,
I don't even know what that means, though. What does that? Do you know what that means?
I know what it means. What it means traditionally is if there is like if I accuse you of having an affair, right?
Then I've done something.
And you say I'm not having an affair, but I see you and this girl. That's the smoke. The fire is when the proof.
Get it? And all that makes sense. But what the hell is Kevin talking about in this instance with smoke? There's fire. Please explain what you mean by what this means in this application. Apply it to this. When there's smoke, there's fire. What?
Okay, what I'm saying is that now we've already determined that there is that you said 1 out of 5 women have been sexually assaulted.
Detail the smoke and then detail
what's the
fire.
Smoke and what's the fire? Or what's the smoke and then what do you think the fire may be?
I feel like the Paper Mag cover is smoke. Her brother was the fire.
What?
Whoa, that logic is crazy.
Her brother was the fire. Because honestly, when the cover came out, when the trial happened, no, listen, hear me out. When it was revealed that he was being convicted, right? And that the testimony from the child herself was very damaging, right? When I saw the cover, I didn't assume or accuse Nicki Minaj of anything. I did think, I wonder.
Wonder what?
I wonder if something happened to Nicki.
What does that have to do with it?
What you mean?
What does that have to do with the cover?
What do you mean? What does that have to do with the cover?
Why are you assuming because she made a cover that she talks about in her music? Like, am I crazy? Did she just start talking about? She did not start talking about Ménage a Trois just now. Nicki Minaj has been a star for 10, 15 years.
Right. Okay.
She's
so
always
if you've
discussed this. What are you talking about?
I don't know if you've had everyone that is sexually free did not start from a healthy place.
What?
They did not start from a lot of people learn the wrong things the wrong way from the wrong way.
We have just entered.
I don't even know where we are. Where do we enter? I'm trying to put the pieces together.
What?
I don't know. We have gone someplace. I don't know.
So people who have perverse sexual ideas.
No, he didn't even say perverse. No. He said free.
Hold on. So check this out.
He meant perverse.
So check this out.
Maybe
he's trying to be
free.
If something happens soon and Nicki decides to come forth and say, hey, me too, something happened to me.
So what?
Would you be surprised or not?
No, but I don't think that matters.
Why wouldn't you be surprised?
Any woman. I wouldn't be surprised about any woman because I know the statistics say 1 in 5. So if she's a principal.
So why is it wrong for me to say that may or may not have happened to Nicki?
It's not wrong. It just doesn't make any damn sense.
It is irresponsible because of the way you're assuming it based on her expression. If Dr. Jackie from Married to Medicine had the same exact situation happen, but you don't assume that because you're buying into I don't know what. You're looking at her as a doctor and saying she looks upstanding.
If she was expressing that side of herself, I may. Just like we already know. Hold on, let me tell you like this. Because you've worn a choker a bunch of times, right? And I told you, what do chokers mean?
God.
When women wear chokers, what does that mean?
And that is dumb as fuck. So, I mean.
It's also true.
No, it is not.
It's true as fuck.
Oh my God.
I'm saying, that doesn't make you less of a person. That doesn't make you, doesn't mean that you're a terrible person.
That means because I wear chokers,
but
I'm
thought
sexually free.
I had a thought.
And I may have been molested.
Okay,
that is horrible.
But okay, so let's develop this. Let's develop
you
this.
You may have, because 1 in 5, so hey, you may be the one.
But so
if
what though?
If they said that 1 out of every 5 people in Atlanta have AIDS, then probably
is that me because I have a choker on as well?
If there's 5 people in the room, do you look around the room and go, which one?
Is that me because I have the choker on? That is that.
I don't understand, Kevin. I still don't get it. So there's smoke, and there's fire, and Nicki Minaj may have been molested as a kid, and she does
or is she molesting people? I don't know.
Provocative. It would make more sense if you were saying that she was a molester and she's doing this cover. But the fact that you're combining her being molested into her doing this cover, and that's bad some kind of way.
No, I didn't say that was bad. I never said it was bad.
You said it made you think.
It did.
And why is that negative, though? So let's not use the word bad. Let's use the word negative. Why is it negative that you thought that?
I didn't say it was negative.
What the hell are you saying? Smoke and fire seem negative.
I'm saying that experience may or may not have happened.
So what?
That's it. That's all I said. Christal had a problem with that.
You said it was poor timing. She shouldn't have done it because that experience may have happened. That sounds like it was a bad decision.
Yeah, well, I feel...
So let's use the right word. I said negative. He said no. Okay. I said bad. He said no. What is it then?
I mean, to me, this whole conversation has gone a whole different place. You are making this is the problem, and for a black man to think like this is even sadder because when cop looks, it is because you're making assumptions about someone based on how they dress. So me having a choker on, Nicki Minaj being provocative. No, it is ridiculous because in that way, if a cop sees a black man that's dressed as a rapper or a thug and they make assumptions and assume that you've been to jail or assume that you've been a criminal, you have a problem and you want to march and holler and have a fit. But you want to make those same...
I march and holler because normally when that happens, someone's either getting taken to jail or shot.
Yeah, well, the fact that you're putting your assumptions on people is very dangerous, and that's it's just.
What do you mean?
It's sad.
We assume shit about people every day.
No, people assume the way you did. No, not that.
I am here's an assumption. Here's an assumption that people make of me every day I leave the house. I am 6'6".
That is not an assumption. That's
I am
a fact.
6 feet 6 inches tall. Every day, someone says, did you play basketball? You're tall. All tall people don't play basketball.
But that
is an assumption that someone made based on my
But you're
physical
assuming
appearance.
that there could be someone could have been either involved in a crime or a victim of a crime based on their artistic expression, that is asinine. And it's sad.
If someone posts on social media about drug use, or they take pictures in Bob Marley t-shirt or something like that, do you or do you not think that they may have done drugs or smoke weed or something like that?
Do you realize that you said if someone makes a drug post, then it would not be an assumption because they're talking about drugs? To molest a child is a crime. To have a threesome with adults is not. Those are two very separate things. The fact that you're not able to see that is the problem.
No, I agree with you. I do see that.
No,
I didn't
you
say
don't,
that
because
was
you're
wrong.
saying the fact that you're assuming that she could have been a part of a crime because she's sexually free, or because her lyrics and images suggest that she is.
I believe that she may have been exposed to some form of sexual deviancy.
Okay, so let's stop right there. Then why is it a problem for her to put out that magazine? If we're let's say we're accepting that she did get molested as a child, why though is it wrong or poor timing for her to put that out? And that's where my question is. Why is that wrong?
I felt like it was poor time, and maybe they couldn't stop it because, just like you said, they already spent a bunch of money.
Right, but why is it poor timing?
Because the trial closed at the same week.
No, but why are those
That's why,
things,
because the trial closed the same week.
That's not really why. You're saying
that's my why.
That's not really is that a why? Is that an answer to a why?
That makes no sense. That makes no sense. But
Like,
I mean,
connect why that's a problem. The trial was the sentencing came, or the conviction came, and the post of the magazine. Why is that a?
So what?
Okay, so here's another example. If someone borrows money from you, right? And then and they tell you, hey, I'm in this tough situation, I need, whatever I need. And then a few days later, you see them on social media.
Not to say,
yay, I'm having fun. I'm doing this great thing. I'm spending this money. You're going to think, I just gave.
Kevin, are you aware
but
that that's not a crime?
But
that's not a crime.
No, but still, that's one person who did something, and then they did something else.
I'm talking about perception.
Nicki Minaj didn't have anything to do with her brother doing that.
But that's criminal. That's criminal, and it's her brother. And you're saying that her PR team and Paper Mag's marketing staff should have been watching her brother's trial, which she had nothing to do with, to decide when her cover should be released.
But she was also there, and it's been reported that she's very close with her brother as well. Right.
It's her brother.
Right.
She has a right to
love her
brother.
And she supported her brother. That was part of it. She was in support of her brother. She was defending him.
She was not
defending him.
She was supporting her brother as a sister.
Supporting her brother as her family.
I don't think she was. I never heard her come out and say, you know what?
That may have been misconstrued.
Kids should get. I don't think
that may have been misconstrued.
I don't think she has a.
I'm so over this.
I don't think she felt like kids should get raped. Or,
I don't think anyone would say
she
that.
was defending him.
She was just there in support of her family.
She was defending her.
I would be there in support of my family.
Yeah, like I said, I had a brother that went to jail. I love my brother. Did I agree with what he did? No. But the fact that he did something bad does not make me not love my brother. He did not molest a child. I just want to put that out there. So that wasn't what he did. But the point is not that. We do not control. You can't. Sometimes we don't even know what we will do, much less what someone in our family is doing. To suggest, and I'm just going to let this go because we're not going to agree, but to suggest that someone, that's because of what a family member does, not even a husband or your child, but your sibling, that's another grown adult, to suggest that because of something that they did should dictate what you do with your own career is really sad and is not fair, and it's foolishness. I don't think, there's just, that makes no sense to me at all. And the fact that she was there, if she did go to court, I didn't see pictures of her in court because I'm sure we would have seen those. But the fact that she loves her brother and her brother did something wrong, all of us have family and friends who've done wrong things that we still love. That's a part of family. Family is often not, we don't choose family, we're born into those. But to say that because of what her brother did, she should have to police her own career is just, it's just sad. It's sad. And another thing, because of being a woman and dealing with that type of thing, for men to assume that because of the way you dress
Oh, come on. Don't,
it's ridiculous.
Please don't, because I'm going to have to start disagreeing with you if you do.
It's okay.
Can we just cut it off there?
No.
That way
but to assume because of the way you dress means that you've been sexually assaulted is unfair because there are women that are walking around in turtlenecks in boardrooms and conservative suits that have been molested and have dealt with rape issues just like someone, even more so. So that's a very dangerous idea.
I'm not saying that you wear a choker and that means that you've been sexually assaulted. I'm saying that if you wear a choker, you're a freak.
I don't even have the energy to reply.
That may or may not be true. I like choking women. Is that wrong? Bad timing? Should I not have put that paper mag out? I think choking is a wonderful part of sex.
So if you put out a magazine cover and you like, you're going to visit, and I'm going to think, I'm like,
but that's
probably
not
has done some choking before.
I don't see that as parallels,
that is
though.
So please stop giving analogies that don't make sense. I can't.
But you know what? It makes perfect sense. You just don't want to admit it.
So
it doesn't.
You really don't. You don't want to admit it.
So then Eve came on was The View or something?
No, The Talk. She's new. She's a new member of The Talk. Shout out.
Oh wow,
yeah.
She's actually a host.
She's actually one of the co-hosts. Yeah.
And she ran her mouth about she felt like it was inappropriate, and they gave it to her ass because
they should have gave it to her. And I because we remember where Eve came from,
right?
And just because Eve is at a different place in her life and different place in her career, I wouldn't have a problem with that if it had been another artist said that.
Was she involved with like Stevie J at one point?
Yes, and she was a pit bull in a skirt, like. She was a part of DMX. I mean, she was
Rough Riders.
She was a strip. I mean, she was a stripper. She was, So now her career has moved on, and she throws
her
rocks.
career has moved on.
Well, she's on The Talk. That's a very good gig.
That just happened.
Well, she married a billionaire.
There you go. There you go. There
she
you
married
go.
a white billionaire.
There you go. That was her. That was her moment. That was her moment. That was her Phoenix Rising moment.
I think she felt pressure because she's on this new, slightly conservative, mainstream.
Is she the black?
Of course,
I'm not sure about
a billionaire. You don't.
Well, she's on
is
this show.
Trust me,
she's the black. Well, no, Cheryl Underwood is also on The Talk.
Oh,
but
wow.
she took Aisha Tyler's place, who was like the smart, educated, black girl that may agree with
Cheryl Underwood is like the person who'll say anything.
Yeah, so she's like the voice of reason.
So Eve didn't have to go there with that, I don't think.
No, she didn't. But I think she was trying to fit in. She wanted to have commentary that was, that fit the demographic, and she went too far.
So, question.
Okay.
If you didn't know, if seeing her on The Talk was the first time that you were exposed to Eve, right? And then you saw paw prints, those tattoos, those paw prints.
Right.
What message does that send to you?
Animal lover.
You're so stupid.
She wants to eat Memphis meats with me.
Oh my God.
I wonder if she had those removed.
She probably has enough money to. Like this,
I know that
she's doing the talk for
showing
fun.
those on The Talk.
She's doing The Talk for fun. Like I saw a family picture. It's like, man, there is no way she had to do The Talk. That was a choice.
She came up. It's a good look.
And she's probably still like, you know what? Nah, millionaire not. I need my own check.
I don't know if she needs her own check. I think that she still wants to be a celebrity. I think she still wants to be a celebrity.
One of those kids' net worth is worth more than all three of us.
Yeah,
like, come on, the little baby.
No, not even that. Like this whole like
the whole
code.
block. Yeah, like everything.
This whole zip code. Yeah, she came up for real. Like I don't know. She needs to teach classes or something.
Wow.
Yeah. Man. So that actually brings me to my next topic, which I want to talk about after we discuss the fact that we've all been sipping on this delicious Caribbean blue water.
Yeah, I've been killing my water.
Yeah.
No, seriously, isn't it different though?
It is different.
Yeah.
There's you don't taste anything but the water. And I know you said that last week, but I was kind of sick, so I couldn't taste anything. But now, I mean, literally, this water is the purest water I've ever had.
It's like drinking off of a mountainside.
It is. It is. I still am going to suggest
as pure as the waters from Lake Minnetonka.
And it says it's BPA free here. Kevin, do you know what BPA is?
No, tell us.
I don't know. I was asking you. I thought you would know. I thought one of you would know, especially because you're...
I'm scared to talk now.
No. Seriously, but guys, check it out. The website is CaribbeanBlueWater.com.
It says right there on the screen, bisphenol A.
Yeah, what is that?
You know it. Everybody knows what bisphenol is.
A, no harmful bisphenol A in our bottles. We believe it, guys, because we don't taste it.
I don't know what the hell that is, but it's probably some type of plastic byproduct that that breaks down and then
See, that's how I know. That's how I know what'd be wrong with you, man. You drinking all that bisphenol. And,
Oh yeah. No. So guys, what's the difference between purified water and spring water?
Don't get me to lie. I think the purified water is I do know actually. Spring water is natural because it comes from a spring.
Mm-hmm.
Purified water is cooked or
has been through they've
it's
filtered
like
it,
distilled almost or whatever.
Sand and rocks and
because it tastes different when you get the bottle. But this just tastes like
this tastes like pure
water out of the hose.
You keep saying that.
Say that, yes, because that from a well.
All wells aren't taken care of though. So I would like to say it really does. If you can imagine drinking water off the side of a mountain, that's what this tastes like to me.
How many people have been to the side of a mountain though?
You can imagine though, right? Haven't you seen like those pictures where people
fantasy.
are like, yeah, like it's like tropical.
I want to go to Niagara Falls. Like I saw some pictures of people frolicking.
I think somebody just committed suicide.
I don't think you frolic at. I don't think you frolic at Niagara
Someone just
Falls.
committed suicide in Niagara Falls. That's what I thought of when you said that.
Thanks. That's nice.
I was just wondering, like, is there waterfalls in the Caribbean? There's beaches, but I don't know about waterfalls.
Isn't Niagara Falls man-made too?
Oh, you just ruined it.
I think it's man-made. Like this, why would you want to go there? That's like saying,
I want to go.
Yeah, this isn't that.
It's beautiful. It's just beautiful.
I want to go to the beach. I think I'll go to
man-made things.
Jekyll Island. Like what?
I like man-made things, like the little puppies.
Lord have
No,
mercy.
seriously. So you guys, I do this reality check, and I had a author in yesterday, along with Isaac Hayes the third.
Ike
We were
Dirty.
talking
What
about
up, man?
yes, we were talking about relationships, and one of the things. So the girl was saying that people should get themselves together to find the right person, and you should be in the right space. And it occurred to me like people want different things, right? I think that's like at the bottom of most relationship issues because you hear people complaining. Well, girls want this, guys want that, and I think that most people should be honest with themselves before they get into a relationship. Being honest meaning what's more important to me, especially for women. Is it more important for me to have my man's time, or is it more important for me to have a man who is a great provider and has money? And I think that when you look at those two things, like you can kind of decide, okay, what would be the best fit for me if you're honest with yourself. I'm gonna show you guys an example. I don't know if you guys watch Owns Queen Sugar. No? Okay, it's great.
It's in my Fire Stick queue.
You got to watch it. It's great. Ava DuVernay is amazing. It's a great show. So there's a guy on there that's a hardworking guy, blue collar, average to not good looking. We'll say average to below average looks. Great heart, right? So he's in a relationship with this older woman, and all these women online were saying, man, I need a guy like that. And then I said, okay, well, you remember that guy doesn't have very much money because he's a construction worker. He doesn't own the company. He's a worker. He does bids, so he'll get a job and then he'll be off, and he'll get a job and he'll be off. And all of a sudden, all these women that were saying, I want a man like this, when they realized, okay, well, he's not that good looking. Take the TV show out. Reality, he's not that good looking. And then he doesn't make that much money. Then they all decided, okay, no, I don't want a guy like that. So I think that people need to figure out which one is more important to you. Eve, obviously, the money was more important to her.
Sadly, it's impossible unless you're idle rich. It's impossible to have a person with both.
Right, I agree. I agree.
If your man is making a lot of money, he's not going to be home much.
Right. And I think some women are okay with that. I have girlfriends that are like, I kind of like the space. I like when he goes away. Like when I was younger and my kids were small and there were a lot of stay-home moms, all of their husbands were very well off. They didn't have to work, but they were always gone. Like regional salesmen or doctors, some type of thing that was going to bring a lot of money into the house, but they didn't have a lot of time.
Right.
And then I noticed that guys that don't have money are extremely romantic, because they have a lot of time. They have time. I'm going to take her on and I'm going to do this, this, and this. And it's like a guy that has money doesn't have time to do all that. He's just like, yeah, go buy yourself some shoes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And so how do you feel about it?
I don't know. I'm kind of torn because I think that's the biggest issue in relationships is being able to just be honest. Unfortunately, sometimes with money is distance, and that causes infidelity issues as well.
I don't know if that's what it is.
What do you think?
I think it's like a chip.
What do you mean?
I make this much money. I deserve this.
Right. It could be.
Yeah.
It could be.
I think it's a chip. I mean, being a guy, I can totally see how making a whole lot of money would make a person feel like, I mean, I'm not regular, so I don't deserve a regular life. So
Right.
I should have women, because I mean, when you think about it from the most fundamental idea of why guys do the things that they do, why guys go out and get a master's degree or a doctorate as opposed to just selling for a bachelor's degree, unless you're a complete nerd, usually it's pussy related. Why guys go get haircuts and dress nicely and get that car or whatever, that's usually not to impress their friend. It's usually because they want to be the man for
women.
the opportunity. If a woman drives by or looks by, they look at their possessions, their things, their accomplishments, and they're like, well, I would like to have, no ties
like that.
No ties sex with that guy.
Right.
And of course, that's not what women want.
No, they want to be with that. They want to be his wife.
But guys believe that having those things gets to no tie sex.
See, that's a good. I didn't know that. I just learned something. I did not know that. I did not know that guys thought that meant no tie sex.
Well, you don't have to do any work because everything sells. It sells.
Sells itself.
Yeah. It sells itself. So you're looking at the situation like the more accomplishments I have. Okay, I'm the director of a major network television show.
Right.
That's pussy. That I don't have to work for it. It's going to come to me, and it's going to be no issues.
And I can get rid of it.
And you're right. You're like, it's no ties because I don't have to even put any game. I don't have to do any work whatsoever.
Wow.
At the exact same time, the woman is looking like, men are easy, so the getting sex part is nothing. But
Right.
how can I leverage this to be something more?
It's true. That's a whole nother concept. Ike said something. He said that men who are faithful out of respect.
No, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
You people gotta get.
I
your
disagree with that.
And then that's completely ridiculous. I'm faithful because I'm full.
So I guess it depends on the person's appetite.
No, I'm faithful because I'm full.
That means the person's. Well, I think what he's talking about is his choice, right? When you choose somebody that actually satisfies,
right?
You,
I'm fulfilled.
You're fulfilled. You don't need to. It's not like, and don't get me wrong, I do think that there are guys out there who we get pussy for sport. It's fun. We go out in packs.
Right.
We say, all right, we're going to the club. We're going to buy who got the bottles, who got this, who got that, you know what I mean? We set it up. All right, you get on her, Hey, get some more coming over here. I got some more bottles coming, XYZ. There's a game plan, right? But guys that actually want a relationship with somebody, to actually value a person as opposed to a pussy.
But you know what though? But even still, if you're hungry and you want a relationship, but you're still hungry, you have to eat. I mean, if we make it an animal reference, you know what I'm saying? You can be around a tiger or a lion if you're full. They're not going to attack you easily because they're not.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Even if you're the best guy in the world, if you're hungry. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're hungry, even if you're a really decent, great guy, you want to have a good relationship, you want to build with a woman, but you're hungry.
I think
that's before.
And you know what? Because women went crazy over Insecure when what was it? Tasha said that line. You're a fuck boy who thinks he's a good guy.
Right.
Oh, that's a good line.
That was the thing. And oh yeah, so all of a sudden women were like, aha, now I got one on all the good guys.
He was
right.
hungry.
He was
just hungry.
unfulfilled. Issa wasn't doing shit for him.
Was that a good line now? Bring that shit back. He wasn't full, but I don't cheat because I'm full. I'm satisfied when I leave the house. I'm not looking for food.
Okay, so what about men that will acknowledge that they're very happy with their women, but they still cheat?
They're not full. They're not happy with a woman. They're just saying they're happy with their woman. Wow. You are not hungry if you're full. It's not possible.
We need to have
it's not possible.
I do agree. Yeah, you can't do both. You can't do both. You can't be hungry and full.
You can't be. I don't care how
you're
much.
Saying that that the men that are cheating because they're not with the right person?
Yes. I feel like I've already had smokehouse wings to the point where I can't eat another smokehouse wing, and I pass by a Popeyes and they say free smokehouse wings, I still don't want them. I'm full of smokehouse wings right now. I can't eat more.
And you know what? I thought about this too.
That's a hot take.
What about,
by the way.
Okay, so
now that analogy made sense. I got it.
Now in a relationship where one person is unfulfilled and the other one person's let themselves go, and the other person is still good. So you're like, I'm not attracted to you anymore because you ain't on your thing, right? Now, in a type of relationship where both of you have let each other have let yourselves go,
but one person,
you're probably not cheating.
One person may not be.
You both go to bed hungry.
One person may not be, because some people are not. When they get to a point where they love the person, they don't necessarily.
Not true.
I think so. I
don't agree with that.
I think some people are not. That won't be as big as issue as it will for other people. There are guys that if their woman gains 5 pounds, they're like, I'm uncomfortable. I'm very uncomfortable.
No, that's
bullshit.
Yeah.
But then there are other people it's like, I don't really care. Like, as long as I love her and I'm not really, that doesn't bother me.
That's being polite. I think it definitely still bothers you. You want something close to what you married or what you got with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Women and men want something close. There has to be some semblance to it.
Everyone has a type.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The things I say the things you did to get me ought to be things you get to do to keep me or whatever.
Right.
That makes sense. But I mean, from a visual standpoint, you have to be close. It's got to be close. If it's to the point where you don't care, I don't care, nobody cares, I think that's not full anymore.
Right.
Full is all aspects. It's not just the internals. It's it's everything.
Right. So would you be upset if you were? So as a man, you have to know what you offer, what you bring to the table. Do you bring time or money to the table? Right.
Right.
Then you have to fish in that pond. Right. Because I think a lot of times guys with a lot of time, I had this guy take me out on a date. He did not have a car. I did not know that he didn't have a car before we went on a date. We went on a date. Afterwards, I'm like, okay, I'm walking to my car.
Well, how did he take you? Not physically take you.
We met at a location. And then afterwards, he walked me to my car and I was like, okay, well, where's your car? And he was like, well, I took the bus. I was like, oh, I've been duped. Okay. I felt like I had been duped. But then he made it clear that he didn't. The next time he asked me out again, he asked me to go to the park because he said he didn't have much money. He wanted to go to the park. So he wanted us to go bike riding or something. But I realized that what he was doing is he was saying, I'm willing to give you lots of time.
Right.
I don't have any.
Who doesn't
money.
love a bike ride? But you just want a bike ride with a rich dude. Mm-hmm. And that's just not going to happen. Rich dudes are not riding
bikes. Yeah, they're not riding bikes.
If they're riding bikes, it's a health thing. They're like, well, we got to put on our onesies.
They're like, let's go buy a really expensive bike.
Right. My bike costs $2,700.
Right. But I realized that, there's nothing wrong with either side, but everybody presents what they have. And a lot of times the guys that don't have money, they hate on the guys that do. And it's like, oh, well, he doesn't care about you because he doesn't spend any time with you. And it's like, no.
He don't have time.
He doesn't have the time because you can't do both. You know what I mean? And then the guy that has money, he makes fun of the guy that has the time because he's like, well, he's a loser. But I mean, not everybody is driven by money. So I think as a man, you have to know what drives you. And then as a woman, you have to figure out, what is important to you. I realized at the time that he offered me the bike ride in the park, that wasn't the most important thing to me. The time. Okay. I would like a balance, but if I had to pick one, I would rather be provided. We've
all agreed that there's no balance. It's pretty much mostly one or mostly the other. There's no half and half.
Yeah, I would say I'm comfortable with a guy that's a provider. The time, I mean, what are we going to, I don't have a lot of time. I work a lot. So if I'm at work and you're home,
I feel like that's about convenience, though. I feel like in terms of like because women have never not gone after rich guys, right? But now money goes like you can buy anything.
True,
you can buy anything, and true. if you're shit, you can go on your phone. It becomes a remote control for your life.
It does.
It really does. So if you're with someone that has money, they just let you push the buttons?
I don't know about that. I don't know what that means, but I don't know what that means.
The buttons to order your life, to get the living room set, to get the curtains, to do this, to do the that.
That's true. So
you get all of these things provided
guys
for.
Guys that have money. I have gone out with a guy that had money.
But you don't actually have any connection.
And he was like, well, I don't think that's true. I think you can have a connection. His connection is just, hey, I'm going to make sure you're taken care of. My car broke down. Babe, here's a number to my call. They'll take care of you. It feels good, but it also feels good when your boyfriend comes out and changes your tire. So, I mean, I'm not saying either is better. I'm just saying you have to figure out what works for you. I remember I was dating this guy that was a bodybuilder. He was very attractive.
You gotta say amazing. No. Like you about to say, he was
No, he was very attractive. He wasn't amazing. He was very attractive, but I remember I went to his house and his house was empty. He had an apartment. His apartment was empty. And I remember thinking like, how are you this age and you have nothing?
Because he spends 8 hours in the gym.
He spent all his time in the gym. And then he told me that he worked part-time he did financing for cars, 4 hours a day. And I remember thinking to myself, why don't you spend more time getting your pockets together? Like
doing finance. Who does financing?
I mean,
I don't know any part-time accountants.
I think
what he does is people apply for car loans.
He works on it for 4 hours a day, and then he goes to the gym. And his body was immaculate, but that's where his energy was. So he wasn't even open for a girl that wanted money. He's like, I got this apartment. There's nothing in it, but this is what I got. This is what I got. Ta-da! And he found a woman. I mean, there's everybody, you can find your tribe. You just have to know what your tribe is, and you can't get upset for people that, want
but that's a big
different.
one, though. Women have been trying to fight that rich dude to give him more time, and that's just not
That's true.
real.
And that's another thing I'm saying. Like, you have to come to the point where you realize, a come to Jesus moment. If he has money, he's not going to have time, ladies. We got to just let it go. Like, because girls that get upset and throw a fit, and it's like, that's only going to make him go cheat. Like, because he's going to get he's not going to be full.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you got to know that. And the guy, to me, a man you can't make a man be ambitious. Either he is or he isn't. And if he doesn't have money and he's trying to take you on picnics and shit, he's not going to be rich. It's just not what he's into. He's just not a rich guy.
But he's going to take really good care of your spirit.
Yeah, you're going to feel warm and fuzzy.
And cold and hungry, but warm and fuzzy too.
Yeah.
How can you feel warm and fuzzy and cold and hungry at the same time?
You guys be like, the bills aren't paid, but we're together.
But this body heat is wonderful, but damn, my stomach is grumbling.
And it just depends on what guy you want, man. But I'm telling you, they're out there. Ladies, they're out there. Both sides are out there. The one that'll tell you, you know what? It's your birthday. I'm not going to be able to make it, but take my credit card, go buy whatever you want. As opposed to the one that's like, hey, babe. It's your birthday. I'm not going to be able to do anything, but we can spend it together.
Well, I think you can still, because like what you said before, he wanted to go to the park. Like, just because you're not rich, you can still do something. Like, useful. If you're not a useful person, whether you're rich or you're poor, that's not.
Yeah,
that's not advantageous.
But you know what?
Like it, though.
What's crazy about that is I would be so miserable at the park.
You know what? And now I think that
you'd be miserable having a picnic at the park.
I would feel like I'm wasting my time.
Honest.
I got so much shit I got to get done.
Being honest.
I got so much shit I got to get done, and we're at this fucking park. I would be miserable. I'll be trying to smile, but it'd be like that evil smile where your eyes don't smile, it's just your mouth. I would be so miserable at the fucking park.
No, that's real. And I think that you can tell. I remember I went on a date with this guy that was very, very ambitious. He was doing very well. And he was like, okay, I got to spend some time with you. Like, I could see him. She's like, I got to spend some time with you.
And it's a chore. It's
and
like,
we went to the movies and he was like falling asleep. He was like, I'm sorry, I'm just really tired. And I was like, he just doesn't have
He's overwhelmed trying to do too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't consider myself that guy at all. Like I don't have any of the fruits of that.
You fall into one, just because you're not ultra rich doesn't mean you fall into one of those categories. But I think that.
But am I wrong then for not going to the park as much?
No. The trade-off is the bills are paid.
But do we do stuff like that for people we love? Like how many times does someone that you love say, "Hey, come watch this movie. I really, really want you to watch this movie."
But that's once in a while.
And then you watch the movie and you fall asleep on it.
But that's once in a while, though. But I'm saying, like, the guy who doesn't have any money, he's just giving you time all the time. Like every weekend, we can go on an excursion. Like this guy the guy that worked for 4 hours, he wanted to date in the middle of the day. Like, what are you doing?
Right. I have a problem with going to the club. Like, I can't imagine all the time that's wasted in a club listening to the same 15 songs, the lights and the music, and spending all this money on liquor, drink after drink after drink. I'm just watching people around me. The bottle service girl comes over and she's sparkling for a minute, and then she takes it out. That's like $1,200 for that little seat and the couple of bottles you get.
Right.
I'm just like, we're wasting so
money
much
and we're
time
not making
in
any.
Here. We're wasting so much time.
Yeah.
And then you go home and you're exhausted the next day.
Yeah.
You don't get anything done the next morning. You know what I'm saying?
It's not good. But
I'm miserable.
I mean, it's because you're an ambitious guy. So it just depends. You got to know the other guys. I'm telling you, they're just like, hey, we could be here all night.
Do you sit in bed with your laptop working on emails and stuff?
I do.
Do you do that?
Yeah.
See, that's bad though for those people. The people who need time or whatever, that's bad.
Yeah.
The fact that we do that is awful.
Yeah.
I actually like. I'll go to bed. I'm kind of guilty of this. I'll go to bed with my laptop like right there.
Yeah, I do too.
And then I'll like wake up early, because especially I know I got to get something done. I'll wake up early and I'll be right there. Like I'll sit on the floor and just be like,
oh no, it's in the bed with me. It's literally my bedmate. Like it's in the bed on the other side.
I'm miserable when I can't do that though, and that's bad. I feel bad about it, but I don't know if I feel bad about it.
But
anymore.
you're a workaholic though. Like your wife knows that you're a workaholic.
Yeah, but I don't think in my dating experience that's not, and even now that's not really welcome. Like
a woman that does it is like that's like a scarlet letter, right? Like a dude that does it, it's like that sucks. I don't ever get any time. But
I'd rather be with a workaholic than somebody who's like just ignores you and is on in their phone all the time.
Yeah,
I think that's a pet peeve in relationships.
But
You're never paying me
people
attention.
know the difference.
You're in your phone.
Right.
My boyfriend says he doesn't know the difference. I'm like, but I'm on my phone working. He's like,
yeah,
I don't care what you're doing. You're just not talking to me. It's not cool.
Right.
I don't know.
Women do that. They want attention. Talk to me. How was your day? Shit, what happened? What did he want?
I don't want to know about.
Here we go again with this. Be honest doesn't want to know about the day. I can't.
I don't want to know about your day. Just give me the highlights, like the quick day, like the 3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Give me the 3-minute version, like the key points.
The only way that this is
There's nothing interesting.
That you're able to keep your wife is the fact that you have to provide well. Because the fact that you're honest about not wanting to know, I don't want just give me the cliff notes and the bills are paid.
The minutia just drives me crazy, man. I don't need to know the developing story of how that happened or how it got there. Just tell me what happened.
I was recently told I am not your girlfriend. Stop trying to make me your girlfriend. I was like, well, damn. Okay.
That was a man standing up for himself.
It was a man reclaiming his time.
It's necessary, man.
I am not your girlfriend.
Y'all do that a lot of times to us. Y'all try to turn us.
Watch TV with me.
Yeah, but y'all be trying to turn us into your girlfriend sometimes.
I mean, if you're gonna be my best friend,
we are your best friend. We can't give you that.
My wife
energy,
tells
though.
me that. I
can't do that.
You're my best friend. I just want to talk to you about things like this. I'm like, there's probably somebody better. That it doesn't have to be a best friend. You don't have to tell this to a best friend. You can tell this to a friend, acquaintance. You can possibly. There's somebody.
Tell a stranger on the bus.
Yeah, just fuck. Use your time wisely.
That's horrible, guys. That's horrible. That is horrible. This has been an interesting discussion.
I did not expect that to come from that topic. I did not expect the depth that we got to on that to come from that topic. But I think there was a lot. We got to a lot in that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There were some important things that we got to.
No, I do. And I think that, disagreeing is okay. But I think just from my perspective, it's good to know a lot of times how people view you. Because sometimes you can get so caught up in what you're doing that you forget there's always a tax on, you always get taxed for what you're doing. So people make assumptions about other people. They don't have to be right, but their perception is their reality, So I think, especially when it comes to, sexual abuse, there are so many women that have dealt with that, and it's a very difficult topic. But I just would encourage people to be careful about, assigning things to others that can be hurtful or can be dangerous in that type of way.
Understandable.
You guys,
I rock with that.
Yeah, I mean, we can.
Crystal know I love her. We fight all the time.
We can disagree. It's okay. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I feel strongly about that particular. Sometimes we're just shooting the shit, but I think that's a really important thing because it can be harmful, and I think women deal with that. Those assumptions based on different things. The idea of what a good girl is or a bad girl or someone that a lot of times men obviously not Kevin because he's not one of those type, but some men will look at a woman and assume that she wants certain advances or doesn't have to be respected.
I agree.
Based on
that would be wrong,
and that's horrible, and that causes a lot of it just causes a lot of things to happen to women and causes women to become victims of things that are based in ignorant assumptions.
And you know what? In terms of humanity, I want to say, like, even if that was something that she's dealing with in her head, and random person on the street pulls that out, like, and social media kind of does that. There's a lot of memes that aren't directed at you, but speak directly to your deepest, darkest, hidden experience.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? The things that you've shared with no one, and all of a sudden there's a meme on your timeline
someone else
that says exactly that.
Is dealing with the same thing.
Yeah.
But
so I get that being jarring.
Yeah.
But a lot of times those are the conversations that we need to have to heal.
I think it definitely we need to have healing, but first just understanding the other side, because hopefully if, people out there listening may agree with you or they may agree with me, but I always think, as a person that has an opinion about certain things, a strong opinion, my opinion becomes stronger when I'm able to hear the other person's side, when I'm able to listen to their side. It may make me realize that I'm not right, or it may make my argument stronger. You know what I mean? But it's very important to be able to have open conversation where you hear, both sides.
Absolutely.
Well, listeners, viewers, we appreciate you guys tuning in once again to Music Love Life. Make sure you go to musiclovelifeshow.com where you can connect to everything show related. Share the show. That's something that we haven't been asking, but we really need you guys to share the show. We're trying to grow bigger, and we know that we have to do that through you guys.
Absolutely.
Word of mouth is the best advertisement. If you like the show, make sure you're sharing it with your friends and family and enemies or whatever.
Right. And enjoy your feast.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving. Please share. Please email us. I'm sure people have some strong opinions about what we just discussed. So please feel free to email us, and we will discuss those. I think next week, hopefully we'll have some people, because it was such a passionate discussion.
Right.
We can maybe address some of those things when we get started next week.
Sounds good.
See you guys next week.